And in the dream, I saw a keyboard, and I kept seeing these notes being played over and over again. And I thought, how interesting. And the dream seemed to last all night. I just kept seeing the notes playing over and over again. So the next morning, I came out here and I have a keyboard, and I thought, I want to see if those notes that I saw are really, what would they really be like if I played them? And so I sat down and played exactly what I kept seeing in my dream, which was like this. Sat down and I played those notes, and I thought, wow, that's exactly what I heard in my dream and saw in my dream. It really does make a little melody, because you're not sure when you dream something what it's really going to be like. And then I sat down and I thought, you know, what if I do this? Something amazing happened. I don't even know how to explain what happened next, but all of a sudden I just did this. Melody. And as I was sitting there, I thought, wait a minute. Through small and simple things, this is what came into my mind. Through small and simple things, great things can be accomplished. And I thought, you know, I don't know why my hands went there. I don't even know how that happened. It was a miracle to me to just sit down and start playing, but it was really amazing. Through small and simple things, great things can be accomplished. And that has really stayed with me and has been comforting to me to know that that's exactly how my life has been. Small and simple things, great things have been able to be accomplished. Part of my healing has been through music. I don't know why, I call it heart playing. And so if I'm even sad, I'll sit down and play a sad song, you know. One day, probably 2015, so about 5 years ago, I was really, really sad. Some really terrible things had happened. And I was praying, actually, and all of a sudden this image came into my mind about a broken vessel. And I thought, I have got to paint that, because this broken vessel represents how my life has been. My life has been so broken. And I remember once crying out to Heavenly Father and saying, you can't fix me because I'm too broken. And I was overwhelmed at how many horrible things had happened in my life and how broken I really truly was. But this image came into my mind that I needed to paint this because I was no longer broken, even though some really more hard things had happened to me that were even worse than some of the things that happened in an earlier part of my life. I was no longer broken. I was whole. And so I have a really strong testimony of Jesus Christ and of his atonement. And so I needed to paint what I knew. And so you can see in this picture, here's the broken vessel. Here's all the storms that come into our life, all the mountains that we have to climb, more storms, all the adversity, everything awful that breaks us down. And yet Heavenly Father, who is the master potter, as you see his hands, can take a broken vessel, and because of his power, the power of his Son, Jesus Christ, he can make that vessel whole without even one crack, and we can become his jewels. And I've tried to portray that, as that we become his jewels. And that is his whole point, is that we come down to this world to experience life and to see hard things. But through that, and as we know, it is through pressure that diamonds become diamonds. And we can become jewels through the pressures and the difficult, horrible things that happen in our life. We can still become whole. And so I had to paint that picture, and that's why I did it. When I was sad once, I did this. This picture to express, I saw a beautiful garden, I think up in Bouchard Gardens, and I can remember what an impression that left upon me because it was so absolutely beautiful. And I thought, you know what, my life could be a desert because it's been so painful, or it can be a Garden of Eden. So I decided to paint a beautiful garden that would represent how I feel about life. And you'll notice down here that there's many steps, and that's the way it is in life, many, many steps. And some of the steps are painful, and our feet get really tired, and our emotions and bodies get really tired. And so I made some benches, and here's one over here. Just when life gets difficult, step down and sit down and rest. And here's another one. You know, I sort of pretended that this is about where my life is maybe even now. And I can sit down there and get another perspective. Look in all the directions. Get another perspective of your life. But I've chosen to make this a garden, something beautiful to look at. And then if you go over the bridge and sit down there, you can turn around and see how far you've come. And be amazed at how far you've come and the things that you've been able to overcome and all the steps that you've taken in life. and then you can cross over and rest again in a beautiful place. So I've just chosen this to be the way I see my personal life is a garden, something beautiful to look at, even though some of it is painful.